All right, this is my 7 rules for 7 figures presentation. I'm super excited to deliver this to you today. There's no sales pitch here. There's nothing for sale. I just know that so many people in the digital marketing game are just overwhelmed. The best way to put it, the most simple way to put it is they're overwhelmed. Too many people tell them too many things, too many strategies, and it doesn't have to be that difficult, right? I'm going to give you the 7 rules for 7 figures. This is what's helped me generate millions of dollars worth of sales online. Guys, I've sold affiliate products. I've sold my own products. You know, I've done coaching. I've done master resale rights, affiliate marketing. I just put this screenshot up here, me accepting the 2 Comma Club award, just for the obligatory proof. That way you listen to me, because this is super, super powerful for you today. And once again, there's nothing for sale. So really quickly, who is this for? Is this for you? Right? And quite honestly, if you've never posted a piece of content for your business, right, this probably won't be for you, because you don't know what you don't know yet if you've never posted a piece of content. If you have posted a piece of content, then you know, like, oh, I thought it was going to be this, but it turns out it's this, right? So this is for people who have a business. Or, you know, if you've been struggling for years and years, you've tried many things and you've failed, right? If you've done some stuff in the past and you need to restart, this training will be for you as well. Most importantly, if you were more impressed by 100,000 views on a single video than having 2,000 to 7,000 views on every video, this isn't going to be for you, right? This is about getting your ideal customer to binge watch your content, right? That's what makes money. Today's presentation is about making money. It's not about getting a huge, audience. It's about making money. And in order to make money, you have to do what makes money. If you are not willing to adapt your strategy after watching this video and work hard, this probably isn't for you. I'm not going to ask you to change your offer. I'm not going to ask you to change your social media platform. I'm not going to ask you to change your brand colors or your name. There are going to have to be tiny tweaks if you're struggling right now. And that's probably pretty obvious. That's why you're here watching this video. But if you want to have a stable long-term business that generates anywhere between $300,000 and $600,000 a year, this is definitely for you, okay? So first, I want to just talk about the dip of digital marketing, right? The dip is actually a phenomenon that happens on every single journey of transformation or improvement. Doesn't matter if you're trying to make money online or lose weight or run a marathon. Doesn't matter. And the dip is why you can make so much money as a digital marketer. The dip is your friend, right? Unfortunately, the dip might be where you're at right now, and the dollars come after the dip, right? That's why it's so important you watch this entire video until the end. So that's what I'm going to talk about in today's training: how to make it through the dip and how to take advantage of the dip, right? The dip is what creates the unlimited income that we can earn, because the dip creates scarcity, and that will become more clear as we get through it. So rule number 1, don't get shiny object syndrome, or at the very least, learn how to recognize it quickly so you can avoid it easily, right? In order to avoid something, we must understand it first. We can't avoid something we don't know. And why is there a picture of a salad right here? Well, I always like to think about how you must understand through knowing. I think about when I used to work in the restaurant business. So for reference, before I quit my job in 2016, went full-time with digital marketing, I used to be in the restaurant business. I was in the restaurant business for 13 years. Sometimes managing restaurants. One restaurant in Portland, Oregon, I was a wine buyer. I had a huge budget. That was a lot of fun. I also waited tables for a long time, if I didn't already say that. And what always used to crack me up is sometimes it was men, a lot of times it was women who would come in with a group of friends, and they were on a diet or they were eating healthy. So of course they were going to order a salad, right? That makes sense. But what was always funny to me is they would also ask for dressing on the side, because, most of the fat and calories or whatever in a salad is the dressing, and they would ask for the dressing on the side. But when you'd see how much dressing they would use by putting a tiny little bit on each bite, if you knew how to make a salad in a restaurant, you started to realize, like, oh my gosh, by getting the dressing on the side, they're actually ingesting more calories, right? And people don't realize that because they don't understand. So because they don't understand, they can't avoid the pitfall of getting more calories by getting dressing on the side. When restaurants dress salads, they don't use very much dressing. When you get it on the side, you get a big ramekin, and typically people use it all. So that's the whole point of that story. But what I want to show you is the emotional cycles of change. And this is going to help you understand where shiny object comes from. And once you understand where shiny object comes from, you can avoid shiny object syndrome. And that's really important, and you'll see why in a future rule. So this is the emotional cycles of change. This is what you go through anytime you're going on a journey of transformation, trying to learn something new. You start with uninformed optimism, right? This is where you don't really know anything about the opportunity, but you're super excited, so you're super optimistic. And then what happens? Well, the next stage is informed pessimism. That's where you buy the course, start getting into it. You start realizing, oh crap, this is gonna be a lot harder than I thought it was. And as you continue to go through that, you kind of get into the valley of despair where it's like, oh, nothing's going to work. Oh, I'm not cut out for this, right? And that's when you start looking around on social media for a different opportunity. And you see something that looks great, looks easier. Why does it look easier? Because you have uninformed optimism. You see what I'm saying? This is the cycle. That cycle right there, from here to here to here, is where shiny object syndrome comes from. And people stay in this for sometimes life. So really the whole point of showing you this emotional cycles of change, the bullet point down here is I want you to seek informed optimism. That's where you start to learn a little bit more about the business model that you're trying to succeed with. And you start to think, okay, now that I understand it a little bit more, now that I understand some of the nuances, maybe I can be successful. Because once you get to informed optimism, the next stage is success. So seek informed optimism. Go through the valley of despair. Go through the dip, so to speak. So that's what I want to try to do with the rest of the 6 rules here is try to get you to the informed optimism stage with regards to your digital marketing business. Now, keep in mind, this is universal, right? These are the things that I've been doing since 2016. And it doesn't matter what product you're promoting. It doesn't matter if it's affiliate product, your own product. Like, this is just how you sell stuff on the internet. Okay, rule number 2, right? A free bag of dog poop is still a bag of dog poop, right? Nobody wants that. What does that mean? Well, nobody wants your freebie because it's free. I see this a lot in the space. Get my freebie. Yeah, I have a freebie, you know? And people don't necessarily just want your freebie because it's free. Like, they don't care. Everyone's offering a freebie. But here's the thing. If you have a freebie right now because you're trying to grow your list, that's smart. But we don't always have to change our lead magnet. Sometimes we have to change the words that we use. Right? So if we're offering a freebie to someone to try to generate more leads, we don't just say, hey, check out the link in our bio to get my freebie. We say, get my free guide or to whatever. And then the most important part of rule number 2 is so you can. Get this so you can what? Right? We want to offer them an advantage. We want to offer them a transformation. So in your calls to action in your content, get whatever so you can achieve something. That might be a better understanding. That might be a way to save time. That might be a hack. That might be the best business model on the planet right now. Right? Get blank so you can blank. Rule number 3 is grow your list, right? I want to show you something here. Here's what happens is people aren't patient, right? So we want to make that first sale as quickly as possible. And yes, it's quicker to go live every day and make a sale than creating content, building up an audience, growing your list, and making a sale, right? Going live can be great. I still go live occasionally, but going live is still trading time for money, right? And your list will likely be responsible for your first huge month. Excuse me, I can barely get that out. If you make your list a priority. So I have this picture down here, and this is my first ever big win. That's back when I still had hair. This was 11 months after I got into this full time. That's a check for $22,000. That's actually half of the promo I did for a 2-week product launch, somebody else's product. It was a product that sold for $2,000. They paid me a 50% commission. So every one I sold, I made $1,000. I sold 44 of them in 2 weeks. Now I put this screenshot up here of this check with me and hair. Gosh, miss those days. Not to brag. I actually put this picture up here to show you how much I really sucked at making money online. This is what I mean. Your first huge month will come from your email list. See, at the time here, I was growing a pretty big following on YouTube. For reference, this check came somewhere in this neighborhood right here. So after I had a video or 2 absolutely blow up. But I was still only making like $6,000 to $10,000 a month with my business. Right? I had a pretty good system set up, was making consistent income, but it was only $6,000 to $10,000 a month. So how did I make my first $50,000 a month within my first year? My email list. This whole time I was growing my email list. So when it came time for this promo, this product launch that matched my audience that I had on my email list, I simply just sent a bunch of emails over 10 days. And that's how I made $44,000 in 2 weeks, right? There was a couple of days before the launch, like pre-launch hype, then the entire launch cart close sequence. And that was my first big win. So your first big win will likely be from your email list. Otherwise, it might be hard to get that, because just to create content and make 60 grand a month, right, straight from social media is very difficult, very rare. But the other reason you want to grow your list is because of what happened to me right around mid 2018. In mid 2018, the algorithm started to change on YouTube and the competition increased. I know it doesn't look like much because this video right here just kind of skewed the chart, but by this time my views were falling off a cliff and I was not generating very many leads. I was not getting very many views per video. I probably tried to force it by creating more content, which burnt me out. And by the time I got over to here at the end of 2019, I was all but dead. If it wasn't for my email list, I may have had to go back to waiting tables. Right? That's why I'm still on this game. That's why I've been full-time, is because I was able to weather that storm thanks to my email list. My email list and the leads I had generated over this period sustained me through that storm. So your email list is your security, and I promise you, there will be storms, right? I've gone through multiple storms. Rule number 4 is create content, not ads. This is a big one, right? Organic marketers, that's us, right? People who are creating content on social media in order to get traffic, generate leads, and make sales, right? We are organic marketers and we do not pay for guaranteed reach like ads. Advertisers pay to interrupt our content of choice, right? We're watching the Super Bowl. We're there to watch the Super Bowl. Well, what happens is advertisers pay millions of dollars to interrupt our content of choice to show us their ad. Okay? We are not doing that as organic marketers. So by default, we have to become the content of choice, right? Most people are doing this, right? Maybe you are as well. They're creating content on social media. They're trying to target a potential customer. If you're a stay-at-home mom, if you're approaching retirement, right? And then we try to get them excited about an offer, right? That's an ad. That works if you're paying for guaranteed reach, but we're not. We have to become the content of choice. So instead, what we have to do is we have to sell ourselves first. Excuse me. We have to get people interested in us first. And once we become the content of choice, then we can talk about our offer. Okay? People need a reason to want to watch you. Okay, we'll talk more about that as we get to a further rule here, which is number 5, value, value, value. We need to offer value in order to become the content of choice, because on social media, nobody gives a crap about you. Nobody gives a crap about me. I promise you. All they care about is what we can do for them. So we have to lead with value. We have to over-deliver value. People don't have to watch your stuff, buy your course. They just don't have to. We're not entitled to sell courses and get views just because we create a piece of content. There's so much, billions of pieces of content are created every day, right? People don't have to watch it. They have a choice. And on top of that, we cannot make people, right? We cannot make people watch us using algorithm hacks. Make sure you watch this video until the end, right? Right? Save this video for later. Like, we can't make people do that. Prospects must decide that they want to, and they're faced with infinite number of choices, both in content preferences and course purchases. So we have to become the content of choice, and that's by offering value. What's in it for them? So what I say is we run everything through the value equation so we become valuable to our audience. So what is the value equation? This is really the key of this rule. Well, the value equation is very simple. If we can offer value in excess of what we're asking for, it becomes a no-brainer. Right? So if we're creating a piece of content, we're actually asking for people's time. Whether we think about it or not, we're asking for people's time. So we have to provide something that is as valuable or valuable enough to warrant them investing their time with us in order to get the views. Right? But then let's say we're going to sell a course. If we're asking for $500 from somebody, we have to provide through that course more value than that $500, right? I could sell you a $100 bill for $10 every single day, all day long, right? No problem. That's how we have to treat the sale of our course. And the cool thing is if we're promoting somebody else's course, it doesn't matter because value is perceived value in this space. And value is created by the way we communicate the features and benefits of the course that we're selling. Okay, hopefully that makes sense, right? Value is created by the way that we communicate the benefits and features of the course that we're selling. So we don't have to recreate the course. We don't have to create our own course to make money. We just have to communicate the benefits in a way that make the perceived value greater than the money that we're asking for. And the way we do that is using the value equation. So screenshot this, commit this to memory, whatever. The value equation is very simple. If we can increase the two factors above the line and or decrease the two factors below the line for our prospect through our offer, then they are going to buy it from us, right? So when we're communicating the benefits and features of our product, maybe our product comes with a done-for-you funnel. Okay, if we just say, yeah, it has a done-for-you funnel, that means nothing. That does nothing to increase the perceived value of our product in the minds of our prospects. But if we communicate this done-for-you funnel as a proven funnel that has gotten people results, right, that increases the perceived likelihood of achievement, thereby increasing the value of the offer. But we can also talk about that same done-for-you funnel as a way to save time, right? This means you'll get to launch faster, which means you can make your first sale faster, right? This done-for-you funnel actually decreases the time delay that it takes for someone to potentially get their results. So we have to communicate it in a way that shows the value. Also, a done-for-you funnel decreases the effort and sacrifice, right? Now, you don't have to worry about designing a funnel. You just use this template, right? If we communicate it through reducing the effort and sacrifice, now our prospects are going to automatically see that as a value increase, therefore saying, oh, that's totally worth the money. And it goes on. You can use a million different examples, right? Let's say your program offers multiple streams of income, right? Maybe your program offers 20 different streams of income. It's not just buying a course to sell a course. Well, that's great. What does that do? That increases the perceived likelihood of achievement if we communicate it that way, right? This course has 20 different ways you can make money online. Okay, on the surface, that's great, but doesn't really increase the value of the course. What that means, however, is that maybe you don't want to buy a course to resell a course. There's still 19 other ways that you can succeed. Maybe you get in there and find one model that doesn't work for you. Well, there's 19 other models that could work for you, right? That increases the perceived likelihood of achievement because there's more options that could be a good fit for your prospect, thereby increasing the value of the offer, right? Maybe some of the streams of income are, build an audience, be patient. Maybe some of the streams of income are like, hey, just do this and you're likely to make money tomorrow. It won't be a lot, but it'll be some money, right? Well, that decreases the time delay to get the result. The result our customer wants is to make money, right? If you're in the make money online space, maybe it helps them create multiple streams of income. And that's the dream outcome for people. They want to have 7 streams of income, right? Well, that increases the dream outcome, thereby increasing the value of our offer. So once again, whether you put this in your offer presentation or whether you just simply look at this through your content, we have to become valuable to your audience. For example, let's say I'm going to create a piece of content that calls out to the pain points. And they're going to be like, well, yeah, I knew I had those pain points, but how can you help alleviate them? If you give them a hack or a tip or trick or something that's worked for you that helped you make money or got you closer to your goal of making money, right? That's going to increase the dream outcome or perceived likelihood of achievement. Maybe you create a piece of content that teaches people how to batch their content, right? Decreases, it's probably more of an effort and sacrifice thing. Decreases the effort and sacrifice because they can spend a couple hours on a Saturday creating their content for a week, batch it out, right? Give this to your audience. Create value for them, even if you're just asking for your time or their time, because you have to become the content of choice. And I've said a lot about audience, and that is a good segue into rule number 6. Focus on growing an audience, right? You don't need to go viral. Actually, going viral can hurt your business because when you talk to everyone, you reach no one, right? Going viral can confuse the algorithm and actually hurt your growth in the long run, right? This could be why you're stuck in 200 view jail, right? If you're throwing out a bunch of different videos where you're trying to go viral, guess what? That might be great as a one-off video, but does someone really want to sit and consume video after video after video after video of you trying to go viral? No, they might watch one video, but they don't want to see that because there's no value in it, right? There's rarely value in a video that's trying to go viral. A lot of times they're 7 seconds. They're pain point heavy, right? And if we don't have people continually watching us again and again and again, then we have zero audience. And that's bad for sales because people need to spend time with us, right? That's the biggest differentiator in making a sale or not, is if we can get people to spend more time consuming our content, we're going to be more likely to make the sale. But also, if we don't have an audience, right? If we don't have at least 5 people who watch us again and again and again, then basically the algorithm is saying, we don't know who to send this content to. Does that make sense? Like, if it's 20 random people watch a video, or 200 random people, or even 1,000 random people watch a video, the algorithms still don't know, like, okay, what do all these people have in common? Well, I don't know, right? This person's a 75-year-old grandpa. This person's an 18-year-old student. You know, this girl's a stay-at-home mom. This guy's in the blue-collar industry. Like, the algorithms need some sort of assurance and predictability when they push your content, or they won't push your content. The algorithms are there to protect the platform. And if the algorithms just pushed out a bunch of crap content, what would happen? Right? If the algorithm gave you, like the TikTok algorithm gave you a bunch of videos, you're scrolling through the For You page, and what if the TikTok algorithm gives you a bunch of videos that are not of interest to you? It's like, oh, that seems like it's for someone else. Oh, that seems like it's for someone else. What's going to happen? You're not going to continue to watch the platform. That's why TikTok is so amazing. That's why people love TikTok, is because you don't have to follow anyone. You just scroll the For You page and you get videos that you're likely to watch and enjoy. And the TikTok algorithm is really good at that. But if you just have one viral video, TikTok has no assurance. So what you have to do instead is think about creating content in these concentric circles, right? Let's say you're in the make money online space. The yellow circle is all the people on TikTok who want to make money. Well, that's too broad. So the salmonish color is people who are similar to you, maybe in demographic or life event. Like maybe you're both approaching retirement, or both stay-at-home moms, or maybe you're both 45-year-old men with 2 kids, right? Okay, that's still not specific enough, because once again, in order for the algorithm to be able to help you, it needs to be certain who's going to be likely to watch and enjoy your content. So we got people who are kind of like us, right? Maybe we have the same job and the same number of kids who are about the same age, but where we really need to start is people who are practically your life doppelganger, right? And this is what we want to do with our content. We want to make our content about value, but we want to slip in stories about us. Where are you from? Where you went to college? What state you live in? What your kids' names are? How long you've been married, right? Because what can happen here is this can give us an advantage. We have the opportunity with social media to reach billions of people. So let's just say, for example, that you were talking about a way to make money online, and you said you wanted to do this because I have 2 kids. I have a boy who's 5-year-old who just started soccer, and I have a girl who's 7-year-old who just started basketball. And not only do I want to make sure they have the best equipment, but I want to make sure I'm there for all their games, because I'm in the concrete industry, and sometimes jobs, you never know. I could be done at noon. I could be done at 9. Right? Now, I know that sounds insignificant, but let's say someone on the other side of that TikTok is watching, and they have a 5-year-old son and a 7-year-old girl, and they're in concrete. What do you think's going to happen to that person? They're going to be like, oh my God, this is my doppelganger. I need to pay attention to them and figure out what they're planning on doing to get out of this situation, because I too have to get out of this situation. See what I'm saying? You think it won't happen, but it would. We talk about niching down. We're talking about niching all the way down, because that gives you a competitive advantage. And this game is hard. You need to use every single competitive advantage that's available to you. I'm telling you, it works. You'll be surprised at what people say. Oh my God, we're from the same hometown. Or, oh my gosh, I have a daughter and a son. Hey, say their names. I have a son, Camden, too. Or, hey, I have a daughter, Madeline, too. You know what I mean? It happens all the time. As a matter of fact, it's more powerful than any other thing you can do on social media. I'll tell you a true story. I go live a couple times a month just to, give my new audience a chance to interact with me. Not really to make sales, but give my audience a chance to interact with me. And, generally I'll make 1 or 2 sales. Sometimes I'll make 0. One day I went live and I happened to have my Michigan State University sweatshirt on. That's where I went to college. It created a buzz. Oh, are you from Michigan? Oh, I have a grandpa from Michigan. I live in Michigan. I went to Michigan State. Even if it created buzz from the sense of I went to U of M and created a little friction, right? At least it got people remembering me. But it was so powerful. That was one of the biggest days on live for actual live sales, like sales made during the live call. And one girl, she was in the live stream chat, right? And she was like, "Oh, I'm struggling with all this, and I need to know how to do this." And I help digital marketers. That's what I do. So she was just laying it all out on the table. So she came into a little community that I have. And the first question she asked me, "What city did you live in Michigan?" Right? Moments before that, all she was concerned about is her business. But when she really got inside, she wanted to know, because of my Michigan State shirt, what city I lived in. It's crazy. It is the strongest thing that you can do if you want to increase your connection with your audience, is share insignificant details. Start small. Then when you have 5 or 10 people who are practically your lifelong doppelgangers, guess what? Now the algorithm has something to work off of, and they can find more and more and more. And that's how you grow. That's how you flip your audience quickly. So if all you have is digital marketers, start doing this, and you're going to realize your audience is going to expand pretty rapidly. It took me about 10 days to completely flip my audience on TikTok when I changed my offers. Powerful stuff. All right, rule number 7. Forget about omnipresence. Forget about multiple streams of income. Rule number 7 is one product on one platform for 1 year. Every time I've surpassed $50,000 months, it's always been one platform, one product. And it's never taken a year, but it takes, a little while to build momentum. And that's just like pushing the boulder up the hill. It's hard. And if you stop, then guess what? If you stop halfway up the hill, you know what you have to do? You don't get to start halfway up the hill. You have to start from the beginning again. And that's what people do. Sometimes for their entire life, as they push a boulder halfway up the hill, give up, kind of when they get into the dip, so to speak, and it rolls down, they have to start at the bottom again. Right? And how many times can you start at the bottom before you just get frustrated and throw in the towel, right? You have to give 100% of your effort in order to win in this game. This game is getting harder, especially as a beginner. Right? If you don't have the marketing chops that an expert does, you have to give like 110% to compete. Right? That is the importance of one product, one platform. Figure out what platform works best for you and commit to mastery of that, and promote one product so you build that momentum, because once momentum hits, once you get to that boulder to the top and push it down, guys, you can't not make money once it finally tips over. It's just you really got to push it up there to get there. So the bullet point here is 50% of the effort doesn't make you 50% of the money. So if you're kind of committed to TikTok and kind of committed to Instagram, and you're kind of selling SWC, and you're kind of selling Embrace the Space or DWA or whatever, and you kind of got a bunch of different platforms, that way you have something to offer for everybody, you're only putting a portion of your total available effort towards each thing, and nothing's going to work, right? It's all or nothing in this game. You can't do 50% of the work and make 50% of the money. That's what happens. I've seen it time and time again. Anyone who hits momentum always makes 6 figures, sometimes multiple 6 figures. People rarely make $3,000 or $4,000 a month after they've been successful for a couple of months. It's almost hard to do, because once you've been successful for a few months, right? Once you make your first sale, and then your 5th sale, and then your 20th sale, and so it's hard not to make 6 figures. The momentum is crazy. And we can reach millions and billions of people on social media. One product, one platform for 1 year. So the final thing is, I said I don't have anything for sale. I don't. I have another free video that you might want to watch, okay? And I want you to remember the dip, right? The dip is after the beginner phase, right? After the first couple of weeks or couple months, when you're starting to lose momentum, you're starting to lose steam. No one's cheering you on for taking action. No one's cheering you on for being, new to the game. You're alone. It's hard. You still have to do work without the results. Your mentor's probably ghosted you by now at this point, right? You're in the dip, right? The dip is a killer, right? But the potential in digital marketing is massive because of the dip. If the dip wasn't there, then it would be smooth sailing for everyone, and that would, everybody would go across, and there would not be a lot of money for the people who make it through, right? There would be no scarcity on the other side of the dip, right? The truth is 95% of the folks or more will not make it through the dip, and that's just a reality, right? The other 5%, though, the 5% that makes it through the dip will be rich because the dip creates the scarcity. So what I have for you is right below this video. I don't know where you're watching it. It's either on a button below this video, or if you're watching this video on YouTube, it's probably in the comments or the description. There's another free video that I want you to watch. It's not long. It's like 5 or 6 minutes. It's actually on the homepage of my school community, which, you can join that for free if you want. But the main thing here is I want you to watch that video that talks about the dip. You can get through it really quickly. And once again, so you can understand the dip, so you can get through it, right? Just like shiny object syndrome, just like the dressing on the side of the salad. Once you understand, then you can beat it. So just go ahead and click that button below, go watch that free video and understand the dip, because once you make it through the dip, you'll know how to make it through the dip, and you'll be over there in a very, very scarce world. And that's why when you see these digital marketers who say digital marketing is easy, it's because it is. Once you make it through the dip, and it's easy because there's no competition. Very few people make it through the dip. So go watch that video, learn about the dip, and take action. Like, go out there, commit to it, get through the dip, and crush it.